Hello everybody, welcome to Volume 9 of the Hiveswap Friendsim. A couple of announcements before we start. Well, one announcement and one reason, and one live event, which is currently distracting me from this current job. So many of you, if you are a fan of mine, you probably know who Lore Weaver Universe is. He is another live blogger, another streamer. He is actually the guy who got me into streaming in the first place. So without him, I would not be here right now talking to you. And he is currently, spoilers for Steven Universe, I should say up front, because he is currently in the middle of watching the most recent episode of said show. The reason why this is relevant to your interests, if you are here watching this Friendsim, is because, again, spoilers, in this most recent episode, they finally snuck in the Homestuck number. They finally snuck in a reference to 413. Lore Weaver is a huge Homestuck, just like I am, just like we all are. He's bound to notice it, and he is about a minute away from that moment happening in the episode. So I'm a little distracted. Here's a picture of me being distracted, while a universe was birthing in front of me. And so I'm just kind of like, and so if it seems like I have an eye somewhere else throughout this whole video, I do, in fact. That's why. The other thing that's worth noting about Lore Weaver is he, via his Patreon, has a public Minecraft server, well, a private Minecraft server, where his patrons are allowed to join him in playing Minecraft. And we have just worked out a deal, and this is something I'm going to finalize after this stream is done, so you'll probably be able to see this happen, and I'll make a post about it on Tumblr, and this will all be official probably within like an hour of me wrapping up this stream. We have just made a deal where patrons of my Patreon, which I do have, I never talk about it, I always, I probably... Were I a better businessman, I would talk about my Patreon constantly. I don't, sorry, but I do have a Patreon. And we have just worked out a deal where subscribers of mine of a certain threshold will also be able to join us on the Minecraft server. And so if you are a fan of mine, you'll be able to come play Minecraft with me. I'm on the server like off and on. It comes in bursts. Like I'll go like couple of months where I just forget about it and just don't play Minecraft, but then there'll be weeks where I just am in it constantly and I'm just on that server, all the time. So that'll be an interesting deal. If you are fans of mine, fans of Lore's, fans of both of us, you have the option of playing Minecraft with us. So that should be fun. And I'll probably, I've always been meaning to get around to streaming myself playing Minecraft on that server. I just always forget about it, and I always have other live blogging shit to do, so... so that's my announcement. Pretty soon, patrons of mine will be able to play Minecraft with me. Yay! So that should be fun. I'm just gonna refresh the Lore Weaver page. Nope, still on this post. Okay, so... Now we need a Therapy Pipes version of Minda. Okay. Yes, also... Yeah, not only that, for those of you who don't watch Steven Universe, not only did they stick the number 413 in there, but the number 413 is associated with a character who is sort of named Jade, so it's a double Homestuck reference, so it's hilarious, and I'm just waiting for him to get to that part. I really am. But we have our own business to take care of. We have our own Friendsim to play. And so, I've already given the mods the word that when he gets to 413, we are absolutely going to interrupt the stream to go look at it, because it is glorious. Yeah, out of the 23 people watching me, 15 are going to be able to tell me when it happens. Yeah, exactly. We're all, most of you, if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, none of this pertains to you, but this is something that is live happening right now, and probably about 2/3 of the people watching live with me are also refreshing Lore Weaver's page constantly, waiting for the moment to arrive. So they can do that while I start playing my game. whole chat is going to be filled with hats. Yes, it will be glorious. Alright, so let's start this Friendsim. Okay. So yes, you don't need to look away. It'll happen. Okay. Whoop-boo. Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, Volume 7, Volume 8, Volume 9. Oh, Irissa, that's strange. What are you doing here again? So, let's see. What the heck? This is new. Not all black, it's like some kind of thing. Part of you has always been kind of taken with the idea of purchasing a one-way train ticket to anywhere and boarding it without looking back. Or, in your current case, stowing away without looking back. Details. The idea had always seemed so idyllic. No strings, no obligations, just you and your journey, the wind in your hair and the tease of freedom on your lips. Your little daydream didn't exactly involve careening across a perilous extraterrestrial landscape, but then you always like to think of yourself as the kind of person who's open to new experiences. Not to mention new friends! In practice, though, this tastes less like freedom and more like noxious muck, which is what you're currently surrounded by. Ugh. It's not unlike the slime that was in Skyla's Repicune, except that slime was weirdly soothing, and this is prickly and burny and uncomfortable. Yeah. He took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy. Okay, stop. No more singing. You thought you were being smart by sneaking on board, jumping into some sort of cargo carriage. Oh, how wrong you'd been. The trade-off for not being caught when then maimed and or killed for your blood color is apparently this. You almost would have preferred maiming. God knows you're used to taking a beating by now. Alright. So, our trolls, our contestants for this evening are Azdaja Knelax? Is that just Kleenex? I mean, that's just how that looks to me, that last name. It just looks like the word Kleenex. And Eideja, what are you doing? Oh, that's cute. So if you follow me on Tumblr, you know, I already know what the twist is with Eideja's route here. In fact, I think most of you do, because you probably played this in the 20 minutes before before this came over here. Eideja? Question mark. So I know what the twist is, and I'm still looking forward to it. Oh, hey, you actually can... It's like, you can actually see her in the background. Okay, well, you can't see my mouse, damn it. Here, hang on. Let me just change this real quick so you can see this. So I might as well just talk about this now because... Whoops. Where are we? There we go. Transition. But yeah, if you look closely, you can see... What was her name? Chahat? You can actually see Chahat's face hiding in the background there. So yeah, this kind of annoyed me that Chahat is all over the pictures on the Steam store, which annoys me because, like, if it's going to be a twist that she's going to be here, why, like, spoil that on the Steam page? Like, they didn't do that for Polypa. You know, like, Polypa, like, when you start playing the game with her, you don't know it's her, and then it gets revealed later, and so her picture isn't anywhere on the Steam page, which is the way you do that, because that's how you keep a surprise, for fuck's sake. But anyway, we're not going to do that one first, though. We're going to start off with Azdaja. And first I'm going to take a moment to refresh the Lore Weaver page. Not quite. Nope, not there. Good as new. Okay. Yeah, people figured it out pretty quickly. I'm not terribly surprised. But anyway, we are going to start with Mr. DBZ Scouter over here. Seriously, Minda will tell you, I'm sorry! I can't not look. It's a thing. Azdaja. After what feels like way too long, the vehicle slows down and you take the opportunity to tumble out of your slime jail and into the dusty ground, picking yourself up and hurrying away from the station before you can get spotted. A little while later, you're standing at the beginning of a massive canyon, and your awful train ride almost feels worth it. The canyon stretches on endlessly, miles of yawning chasms and winding ravines at your feet. This is actually kind of nice little scenery here. It's enough to make your mouth hang open in awe. After spending so much time in various grody parts of the city, the sight of such pristine natural beauty touches your heart. You feel somehow inspired, like you could belt out an aria or draw a masterpiece if you tried. Oh hey, we're in an 80s album cover all of a sudden? Yeah, it is very 80s album cover, I like it. But before you can begin exploring your hidden creative depths, you're distracted by noises coming from not too far away. You're not alone. You know what this means? A chance to get yourself more of that sweet, sweet friendship after so many successful companionship ventures. You're thirsty for more. You pick up your jaw and go investigate. The sound leads you towards a trail along the side of the canyon, which in turn leads you down to a roomy platform not that much lower than where you started. There's a series of sharp outcrops jutting out of the plateau, and perched atop the highest one is a figure dramatically framed against the moonlight. At first you think he's peering moodily into the distance, but then you realize he's looking through some kind of contraption on his face. Recording coordinates. You look around. There doesn't seem to be anyone else here. So what you heard was this fellow muttering to himself, you guess? I see. First stream I managed to catch. Well, welcome aboard. He's so wrapped up in whatever it is that he's doing, that he hasn't noticed you yet. This guy has got to be hankering after some company, being all by his lonesome out here in the middle of nowhere. You're sure of it. Wave and say hello, climb up and surprise him. Let's see, let's take him by surprise. I wonder if this might actually kill him, which would be kind of funny. Like if we surprise him and he just like falls off the cliff. That's what I'm hoping for right here, so let's do it. Eagerly, you clamber up the side of the rock. Ah, wow. This drop is pretty intense. Oh, is it gonna happen? That's nothing you can't handle without plenty of determination. Determination! And frantic scrambling. You finally make it to the top. You're about to haul yourself up so you can stand, fully ready to introduce yourself and let this guy have it with your geniality. Really show him how amicable you can be. Before you can do that, though, he whirls around, trench coat and long hair whipping in a wide arc. All your clumsy scrabbling at the rock face must have clued him into your presence. Heh, did you really think you could sneak up on me? His eyes flash. Literally, they flicker from blue to turquoise and back again in quick succession. You don't notice the pure white energy crackling at his fingertips until you're already in the air. Oof. When Cuprum lifted you up, it was like getting yanked up by the scruff of your shirt. This is smoother somehow, like he just stepped into a strong breeze. Doesn't really change the outcome, though. You eye the ground below you nervously. Think again. Wait, you weren't engaging in any sneaking around, honest. Or, well, you were, but you didn't mean anything malicious by it. You were just after some quality hangouts. Unfortunately for you, he doesn't seem very moved by your heartfelt entreaty. A likely story. You are looking to gank my data to get fawned up on the game. Is he playing Pokemon Go? Don't try to deny it. You don't know anything about any game, but before you can explain further, you're unceremoniously released. You went through quite the spectrum of emotions as you plunged downward, but the strongest by far is regret. Regret that you'll emerge from this altercation sans the use of your limbs if you're lucky, but also sans a potential new friend. Bye! Alright, well, this did involve falling off a cliff, just not the way I anticipated. But, you know, when you get some right, you get some wrong. It happens. Load, and back. Wave and say hello. I am fighting the urge to look over at Lore Weaver's stream right now. Not stream, live vlog right now. Sporting your most winning smile, you call out a greeting and give a jaunty wave. That gets his attention. Well, 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 would you look at what the perp he's dragged in? Are you lost? It depends on your definition of lost. You prefer to think of whatever you're doing as taking the scenic route? Just, like, indefinitely? Your new acquaintance and hopefully soon-to-be pal snorts, unimpressed. It would be better if you did that. It'd be better if you did that somewhere else. Better for me, I mean, which is the most important issue currently at hand. Let's face it. I still have preparations to make, and I'm running out of time. Kind of cramping my style here. Preparations? For the game, obviously. It's starting any minute now. You have no idea what it's talking about. Seriously, you don't know about duel strafers? Oh, this does sound interesting. Well, you're even more of an empty-headed pleb than I thought. That's not a very fair thing to say. Sure, you might have made a habit of running headfirst into stupidly dangerous situations, but there's no reason for him to assume, dude, you're literally about to befriend a purple blood in the other route. Like, don't tell me you're not. Ugh. Your voice is drowned out by a crackling sound. He's levitating down from his perch towards you. Sparks of energy stirring the sand up into a cloud. After meeting Servia and Cupworm, you've come to expect psionic powers from trolls with yellow blood by now, but it still kind of takes you aback. You stumble backwards, falling on your ass. The troll is unbothered by your spill, continuing to address you while you're sprawled on the ground. I'll explain. Duel Strafers pits Alternative's best and brightest against each other in a timed event designed to reveal the most skilled among the group. Which would be me, of course. That goes without saying. He tells you a bunch of other stuff about game mechanics that, to be honest, goes straight over your head. He's apparently not in enough of a rush that he can stop what he's doing to outline his plans to you, some random passerby, in a fairly detailed manner at that. It's time to duel! I didn't think I could do that well. That wasn't even very good, but I didn't think I could do that well. He seems pleased to have an audience, actually. Wow, this friendship is barely even off the ground, and you're already doing great. You get back on your feet and nod along sagely, pretending to understand all his rambling about strategy and whatnot. And then you notice a blinking light. It's coming from the screen over his eye. Huh? Interesting. My scouter can't... It really is a scouter! My scouter can't retrieve any data on your species at all. I kind of wish I had a DBZ scouter now, just to wear for this video. You can't get them, they're all over the place. He leans forward and looks at you. Really looks at you? Up until this point, he's been paying more attention to his own voice and whatever readings he's been getting on his device, but now he's focused fully on you. Huh. It's actually starting to fluster you a little, actually. That is until his mouth twists into a smirk. You get a glimpse of a single jagged tooth. You know, it's technically possible to join in teams of 2. But now you're here. Is he saying what you think he might be saying? Excited, you clarify whether he's asking you to join the game as his partner. Is that a DreamWorks face? Kinda, yeah. Like there's that headcanon floating around there that the spade flirt face is the DreamWorks face. So, yeah, sure, let's call that DreamWorks face. Ha! Sure, I just love teaming up with clueless nerds like you. No. You'd be a nice element of surprise, though. I could use you as a collateral resource. Fodder. A lackey. It's a start. What do you say? That doesn't sound nearly as flattering, but it's an opportunity to help, and you've founded so many great friendships. I'm doing whatever favors random strangers have wanted you to do for them already. Why stop now? Why indeed? You'll be the best lackey ever. There is clearly a right and a wrong answer here, I believe. So let's say the wrong answer first. This is probably the wrong. Yeah, I'm trying not to overthink things, because like that can happen. But yeah, this is clearly the wrong answer. You know what? You're better than this. Who does this guy think he is? Trying to turn you into his minion? Everybody keeps expecting you to be useless, and you're tired of it. You've accomplished great things, you say, stamping your feet, kicking up a real hullabaloo. You're a pretty big deal on your home planet. People practically quiver in your boots when you walk past. Bear in mind that you're probably wearing a purple dress at the moment, which might ruin the whole image right now. You're either wearing a purple dress or a bathrobe, and neither of those things are particularly intimidating. And even if you weren't a big deal, even if you were the smallest fry around, you're pretty sure you could take whatever he could dish out. He's just a really nerd asshole who looks like he fell out of the IT department straight into a discount bin of bad Matrix cosplay cast-offs. Wow. MSPA Reader is really laying into it. You have no idea what you're doing. Absolutely nothing that you've said about yourself is true. You're spewing hot air and pure vitriol, running on the modicum of confidence you've built up, bluffing your way through the variety of mishaps you've encountered before now. You throw up your hands when you're done, both out of exasperation and as a kind of ending flourish to your little speech. Purple. There's a deafening rumble behind you. When you turn around, it's just in time to see one of the outcrops shudder dramatically into a pile of detritus. Your eyes go wide. Either the rock was already weakening and chose this moment to break, resulting in the best coincidence ever, or you have secret telekinesis powers of your own that you've never known about until now. Whichever it is, it grants your venting session a healthy dose of gravitas. Eideja looks at you with a complicated expression on his face, like he's mad at you, but also like you've just paid him a really nice compliment. Huh, oh god, this is turning into a spaceship. What a brazen proposition. What proposition? If you're propositioning anything, okay. It is DreamWorks face. What? Proposition? If you're propositioning anything, it's for him to consider you an equal rather than some kind of sidekick. That's all. Let me tell you something, alien. I've heard things through the spherical fruit string about someone else in my line of work who's caused quite a stir recently. Alerts have been blowing up, saying the Goldblood girl assassinated the Sea Dweller. Oh, interesting. I had reason to suspect she'd show herself here today. Oh, are we going to see Polypa again? I was looking forward to seeing if she's as good as the rumors say she is. The Goldblood girl. That's what the alerts say. That is one of the best mercenaries in the business. I know better. They must have been wearing a disguise. Oh yeah, and Polypa did mention a Goldblood rival of hers. He points a finger at you. You, despite not being of Alternian origin, have a record. You've shown up here to a dueling session in a rumpus robe and nub stilts. He indicates your flowing gown and heels. Hey, we do have the gown. Which could easily be another disguise to throw the drones off your scent. No. I hope Polypa does show up because this could get interesting. And as you so graciously just demonstrated, you're powerful. Uh-oh. You're easily the most suspicious person I've come across here yet. Who's to say that you're not the mysterious killer? You realize that he's been floating gradually higher and higher in the air as he's talked to you, until he's hovering over you almost predatorially. Shit, what have you done? If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get. His eyes light up and bright blue beams explode the rock next to you. You turn tail and run, but he follows, trailing along behind you like some kind of angry helium balloon. This got exciting. He doesn't stop shooting at you, and you can feel the lasers rush past you, rustling your hair and clothes as they cut through the air. Gosh, he's powerful. Takes your breath away. You'd be in awe if you weren't busy running for your life. You almost wish you had some sort of device that could measure just how powerful he is. What does the scouter say about his power level? Except no, not really. On second thought, knowing his exact power level would probably just be frustrating. That you would immediately break whatever device you would call for. With your bare hands. As strong as he is, though, you can't help but notice that none of his shots are at all close to hitting you. It's more like he's trying to intimidate you, provoking you into fighting back. This is very deep Dragon Ball Z, I love it. You have to get away from him as quickly as possible before any of his blasts actually connect. Now we're back to the train station. Before you know it, your scurrying feet have taken you back to where you started, the train station. Would you quit walking around like a cluck beast with a severed think pan? You came on to me and now you won't follow through? Get back here and fight! You seem to have managed to both pick a fight and hit on him simultaneously. Maybe he thinks he wants that hate man spades thing with him? God, it's time! Okay, pause. Pausing the stream. Okay, hang on. Okay. I see you filthy fucking Homestucks. Yep. There it is. Yep. Body, mind, soul, kind of, yeah. Steven Step. Yep. Good. You're live on stream. It's just a counter status about it was 1006. Waiting for this proved to be very distracting. Alright. That's enough of that. Alright. Back to the game. Oops, back to the right. That was good. Anyway, where'd Twitch go? And now I gotta reshuffle all my boxes again. You seem to have managed to both pick a fight and him simultaneously. I see you, you filthy goddamn Homestucks. Yes. And yeah, that's the other thing too. This particular episode of Steven Universe was co-written by Amber Rogers, who you may know is not only a personal friend of Hussey's, actually had her wedding officiated by Hussey. So it's definitely not a coincidence that this number made it into this episode. So that was fun. But back to the game. You just wanted to be friends, and then you might have lost your temper a little. This is all just a big misunderstanding. He isn't listening to you. Another blast zips past you, dangerously close to your ear this time. You scan the area frantically for cover. There, a structure near the tracks that looks like it might be some kind of mechanized ticket booth. You dive behind it. I'm growing impatient, alien. Cease this game of hunt and sequester and face me. A beam hits your makeshift shield, blowing a hole straight through it. You stumble backwards, close to the tracks. Excuse me. Oh no. Oh fuck. This is it. You're going to be murdered in cold blood by a guy who can shoot pure energy out of his eyes, and there's nothing you can do about it. You squeeze your eyes shut, bracing for impact. Amber Craig now, right? I called her Amber Rogers. Used to be Rogers, now it's Craig. Sorry. Married to Shelby Craig. Yeah, she took Shelby Craig's last name when they got married. Anyway, there's something you can do now. You squeeze your shut eye, bracing for it. All of a sudden, there's a distant rushing sound. With all the running and laser dodging, you've forgotten that this train station was even for in the first place. The train is arriving. Maybe someone on it would be willing to help you. Not like Alternians seem to have a good track record with helping folks in need out of the goodness of their hearts. But damn it, it's the only chance you've got. Azdaja is distracted by the train's arrival for only a moment before turning towards you again. But then a figure climbs out of the train carriages, a figure that's large and hulking and one that you recognize. Azdaja? Oh yeah, they were partners. That was the other thing we heard. What the hell are you doing? Why are you attacking my friend? Oh, good. Her being our friend is canon. I was worried about that for a second after the Polypa reveal a couple of chapters back. Friend? You know this globe's for Sponge? Why didn't you tell me? They're the assassin I've been looking for. What? You idiot! She just laughs. Oh, that's right, I gotta do Jasper voice now. Fuck. Alright. Drink some water. His face. Both of these faces are great. He's embarrassed, and she's just like... They're no assassin! When I met them, they freaked out over a little blood. They've never even killed before. What? What about their power? Connell squints at you like she's thinking very hard about what your most exceptional qualities might be. Well, they're pretty good at falling on their ass. And freaking out in the middle of a crisis. And being squishable. Eideja's expression goes cold. His eyes stop flashy, but he still looks like he could kill you with his glare alone. I see. So that's why you were running away. You were lying. What an immature ruse. You can't help but feel a little bad for pulling the wool over his eyes, even though you were fearing for your life until just a few seconds ago. Azdaja seems to trust Connell's word implicitly. Now you've been exposed as nothing but a regular Joe, he seems to have lost all interest in you. Connell, I was beginning to think you'd skip out on this event. Of course not! I missed the bus. And the desert has shitty reception, so I couldn't call. You know that. That's right. Well, I'm glad you made it. I've let myself to get distracted by this peon for long enough, and yeah, this is the failure route. Let's go strafe some losers, own their nooks in battle, and profit. Fuck yes! I'd love to stay in chat, kid. But there's a bunch of culls in that canyon, with my name all over them. Later. Bye. Whisks away. You watch wistfully as they set off back towards the canyon. If only you hadn't lost your temper and lied out your ass like an idiot, you might have been walking along with them. Instead, you're here alone on the ground, new friendships having slipped through your fingers like all this desert sand. Left alone. Well, that's not how I imagined the failure route going, but that was indeed the failure route. As suspected. Screw this. Oh, no. You'll be the best lackey ever! The title might not be much, but that doesn't mean you can't excel at it. You tell him you accept his offer. Excellent. By the way, I'm Azdaja Knelax. Knelax? Yeah, Knelax, sure. But you must have known that already. You're not sure why you would. Maybe he's some kind of big shot? Come to think of it, the name does ring a bell. You've heard it before, when you were in the middle of infiltrating the bandit hideout with this mercenary, Kano. You met my mate sprite? You must have gotten on her good side, or you wouldn't be standing here talking to me. Got that right. Because you'd be minced into the ground, finer than grub paste? He's grinning like he's really proud and fond about Kano being the sort of girl who'd make mincemeat out of someone as soon as speak to them. If he wasn't talking about her literally murdering you, you might find this reaction endearing. Hang on, if he already has a partner, why isn't she here? Eideja's expression showers abruptly. My partner isn't here because she didn't make our agreed-upon rendezvous time. He says the word partner in an overdone, exasperated huff. In an overdone, exasperated huff, as if he thinks she might be listening from behind a boulder somewhere and he can somehow shame her into appearing. You remember what Polypop said about mercenary duos often being quadranted pairs, i.e. romantically involved, and his girlfriend stand him up? Yikes. Maybe it's better that you haven't been promoted to partner status if it meant getting involved in another couple's spat. You've had quite enough of that already. You hope they aren't fighting. Azdaja glares at you. The exact nature of our quadrant is none of your business, frankly. Now come on. We're wasting time. He steps off the edge of the plateau, descending in a crackle of energy and floating you into the canyon along with him. It's a terrifying ride, but the view it affords is pretty amazing. Soon you reach the bottom. We should keep going. There's someone else in this valley. We'll get the drop on them if we move fast. He grins confidently, with his coat flapping behind him. There isn't any wind down here, though. Is he flapping his own coat with his psi energy for dramatic effect? Yes, that is absolutely what he's doing. First blood to Knelax. You blink. Tentatively, you repeat. Blood? Yes, blood. He says it in the same way he enunciated the name of this competition earlier, like it should have been painfully obvious. Like I told you, our aim is to take out our opposition, swiftly and painfully. To win, we have to be the last team standing in this entire canyon. Weren't you listening when I explained earlier? God damn it, you've been proceeding under the assumption that this was some kind of elaborate competitive LARP. Like, solve some puzzles, get out of the giant canyon before the other guy type of deal. Well, it is a LARP. Sort of. It's troll LARPs play for keeps. You'll find that out soon enough. Perhaps arm wrestle your competition into submission if you run into them. But no, this game involves actual violence. Probably shouldn't be surprised. You've been in Alternia long enough to know that, to discern that, boy, trolls sure do love killing. Excuse me. You become friends with plenty of trolls who have less bloodthirsty hobbies, though. You ask him whether he's ever considered giving into excessive bodily force poetry, or streaming sick beats. Please, you're kidding, right? Now is no time for joking around. Don't tell me you're already getting fruity strut pods. I can't work with someone with such a flimsy sense of conviction. You reassure him that no, of course not. Your strut pods are as toasty as all heck. He's no longer paying attention to you. His scouter glints. There! He flashes past you before you can blink, riding the waves of his side to a collection of rocks sitting behind you. Target acquired? Nice try. Think you could outsmart me by laying in wait and launching an ambush. Cowardly move. Very sloppy. Very sloppy. Now, prepare to get owned. Resistance is oh, fuck! Abruptly, Eideja freezes. You hesitate, unsure as to what sort of threat you're dealing with here, but then a troll girl with a cerulean blue symbol on her shirt pops up behind the rocks. Uh-oh. Psychic powers. She giggles maniacally, making Eideja turn towards you. His expression is blank. His nifty brain power is now under your competitor's control. To echo Eideja's statement, oh fuck. You need to do something fast. You have the harebrained thought that maybe you can grab Eideja and physically wrest him from her control. You launch yourself towards them in a mad dash, attempting to call out a chilling battle cry, but it comes out more as a pathetically broken yell. Ugh. Ooh. The girl laughs again. Eideja's eyes flash brighter than you'd seen so far, almost blinding. Well, hell, those are straight-up eye lasers, aren't they? And they're really powerful? Holy shit. You've met some strong trolls, but this kind of power is something else. If Eideja were a character in the video game and you were to assign him a quantifiable number to measure his power, what kind of level? Perhaps the number would be... well, it would be very high, that's all you're going to say. Quite right, quite right. Eideja's lasers shoot at a point above you, scoring a deep gash in the rock and sending rubble toppling downwards. You reach out, grabbing at Eideja's coat. You have to get out of here. The girl doesn't stop you, merely leaping out of the way of the certain doom that's hurling rapidly towards you. You think you see something out of the corner of your eye, some last-ditch hope at not getting squashed as flat as a grub cake. You race towards it. Huh. It's a cave. I think this is the same background from Baronia's cave. Your first thought when you next open your eyes is that death has finally come to tenderly cradle you in your sweet, loving embrace. But you quickly realize that you're in a cave, not the afterlife, and that the reason you can even see anything right now is because the area around you is brightened by light coming from Eideja's scouter. Through sheer dumb luck, you must have run towards the single safe spot in the entire ravine. This hole in the ground. It's as if this hole was sitting here, carved out of the rock, waiting to be your escape route. You might even say this hole is... this hole was... it was made for you. This hole was made for me. God damn it. Yeah, chat gets it. Chat knows what the reference is. Chat knows what is the reference. Fuck! You wince, covering your ears. Could you keep it down, maybe? Your nerves are a little shot from almost dying for the umpteenth time this week. No! I will not keep it down! Curses, I can't believe this. Who does that blue blood think she is? Does she realize who she just messed with? Wow, he looks really mad. Instinctively, you reach out to execute that slow-faced pap that trolls seem to find so soothing, but he slaps your hand away. What do you think you're doing? I already told you I have a Moy rail. You stammer out an apology. It just seems like the right thing to do. Plus you thought Kana was his mate sprite? He seems to realize what he just said. A hint of yellow touches his cheeks, just barely visible in the light. Oh, that's cute. That's kind of what I said. That's what I said. I already have a mate sprite. You're pretty sure you heard him right the first time, and you're also pretty sure that these are two different sorts of relationships, but you let the subject drop. No need to rile up your new friend more than he already is. What-oh. Your shoes pap might have been rejected, but the attempt seems to snap him out of whatever pissed-off funk he's gotten himself into. Let's get out of here. Oh yeah, the reference, some people in chat didn't get it. This hole was made for me is a reference to a Junto Ito short story called, what's the Enigma at Amagura Fault. Which was also referenced in Steven Universe, way back in the day. Very creepy story, as is par for the course with Junto Ito. He follows the path out of the cave. Can't he just blast you both out? That would be stupid. If I did that, it would cause a cave-in. Are you that eager to get crushed? Conflicted quad blab. Good point. You're acting just like Kano. So ready to rush in without a game plan? If he means this as an insult, its effect is kind of lost. He sounds more wistful than irritated. You walk in silence for a while as you make your way further into the cave. You realize that the walls aren't blank like you previously thought. They're covered in complicated carvings. Cave troll art, you wonder? I know what you're thinking. That life as a prince among trolls must be an enviable one. Oh, yes, also read Junto Ito's manga about cats. It's very funny. The Junto Ito's cat manga is hilarious because, like, the manga, it's like, he writes it with all the, like, pacing and art style, like he's setting up, like, a scare, because he's a horror writer by trade. But it's just cute little comics about his cats, which just makes it really funny. Like, you see, like, these ominous panning shots of his cat, like, jumping up onto a table and being really cute. It's hilarious. It's great. Read Junto Ito's cat manga. What kind of... You snap to attention. Yes, yes, of course. You were definitely thinking about him and his life story just then. I don't expect someone like you to understand. You're obviously a completely average person who will live out their life in perfect mediocrity. But not me. You don't know what it's like to be born so gifted. Completely average, that's you alright. You try your best to be sympathetic. Having rad powers just must make things really hard. What? No way, it's fucking awesome! But, as you've clearly seen, it can attract unwanted attention from pathetic individuals who aren't nearly as talented themselves. Who are desperate to have some unbeatable psionics in their corner. To be honest, the Empire is no different, and it's not like the rebels are much better. Ooh, rebels, you say? Colonel and I don't really care one way or the other. We're just here to off chumps and get money. We look out for ourselves first and foremost. But eventually we'll be sent off planet to do the bidding of the Empress, just like everyone else. Okay, you can see why having no say in the matter kind of sucks, but isn't there opportunity to do cool shit in space too? Eideja's face draws up in a wry expression. Yeah, with someone else calling all the shots. You keep walking. After what feels like hours, his scatter flashes again. We're here. He lets the wall have it with his eye lasers. With a resounding roar, it crumples away. Aside from the spot he destroyed, the rest of the cave is intact. Moonlight spills into the space through the impromptu exit. It's over. We were sucked down there for so long that the game has ended. Meaning, your heart sinks. This was a disaster. He's definitely not going to want to be your friend after losing this competition he's so invested in. We're the last team standing, which makes us the winners. Heh. I knew it! That blue blood loser must have had a stroke of good luck, but she was no match for someone of my station. My victory was a foregone conclusion from the start. Bringing you along was an excellent idea. Your recklessness really came in handy back there. He's thanking you, you realize, or something close to it. Modestly, you assure him that was no problem. A prince knows when to give credit where credit is due. It's like, yes, Eideja, the prince of all trolls! Sure you are. Celebration is in order, I think. Once we collect our prize. There's a prize? Fuck yes! Duel Strafers offers an impressive cash reward to whoever wins. You get a cut as well, of course. Whoa! Money! This is the first time you've laid your hands on the stuff since you crash-landed. Maybe you'll be able to finally purchase a warm meal, or clothing that isn't from somebody else's closet. More important than the money, though, is that you've proven you aren't a complete fuck-up. You've earned Azdaja's trust, and also his friendship. Victory! Money! The Prince of All Mustardbloods. So that was fun. And we got to see a Homestuck see the light. So all around, a very good stream. Very good video just now. I'm going to take a quick break, refresh my water, and then we will go on to the next Mystery Trolls. The Mystery Trolls route. Oh yes, aspect. What's our guy's things? So Eideja His sign is Gemra, or Gemra? I assume it's supposed to be pronounced Gemra, but it's spelled Gemra. He is associated with Prospect and Mind, sign of the Pilot. So he's a Mind player, interesting, and a Prospect Dreamer. Alright, with that out of the way, we are going to take a quick break. See you in a few minutes. Bye-bye.